Alright guys, so we're going to start a new project. Mikey and I actually picked this up pretty recent. When we researched it, we found out that, because before we bought it we did some research. It's from the Snow Company. It's a Nomad 72. It's a Trike. And every time we look up pictures, we can't find one that looks like this. We always find those ones with those fiberglass bodies. So this one, you know, it's different, but Mikey and I liked it, and I figured it could be something for Mikey to ride, you know, back in the when we do trails and stuff. Give him something to do. So we got this. There is a serial number right here. So we're gonna probably look into that and see, like, because we did find a brochure on Craigslist for or not Craigslist, eBay for like $10-15 for this. So we're gonna probably order one so we could figure out different makes and models, and because I know the model for this one is the Nomad 72. What we're thinking about doing is making it look original like this, like figure out the color schemes, do it like that, and then make something go over this, or figure out how to take or make that where that could detach, and then make it where there's a body on it as well. So far this is the beginning stages. Mikey does want, we were talking, he did say he'd want an engine with electric start, so we will do that. So far it seems pretty decent, so we're gonna have to figure out engine size. I think the first thing we'll start with is trying to get it up and going and test out the brakes and get it riding like this before we figure out like color scheme and stuff like that. I tore it down to go over the frame and check everything, make sure there's no cracks or major damage to the frame where I gotta weld it. So and we found out that the back rack could come off with a couple of bolts. So it was held on by 2 bolts and like 1 bolt here. So I'm gonna end up doing 4 bolts, so 1 here, 2 back there, which then could make it easier for us to take that off and then do a custom body as well. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the thing back on, put everything back together, and we're gonna go get an engine and some grip. I was asking Mikey if he wants the thumb throttle, if that would be better for him, or the twist throttle. He said he wants the twist throttle, so I'm gonna get the twist throttle, and then we're gonna figure out something with the pegs. I did end up getting just another, I'm gonna probably order another set of grips for it, but I'm also thinking maybe getting like grip tape from a skateboard, kind of wrapping it around, and then like welding up a piece that sits up here so like his foot won't slide. And then we're gonna go with the seat that came with it. It's a wider seat, and we're thinking maybe that would help for his balance. And if anything, maybe down the road we could make something that is a little like better looking, because this is just like a square, but make it better looking but also functional for his balancing. But everything looks fine, so all we got to do is get an engine and the grips and see how everything goes. Make sure that it won't tilt, which I don't think it'll tip, because it's heavy back here, and like just this will, I don't think it'll tip, so I think we're fine with that. But now we got to just figure out what size engine we want. So we finally have a day of no rain, so we're deciding to do a little more to the truck and give you an update on what we've done. So far I ordered new grips, so I got new handle grips and a full throttle and a brake lever here, since before it had a foot pedal I figured go up on the hand for Mikey. I bought new brake pads. This has 2 brake pads on each side, so I bought 2 new ones. And I'm gonna change out the cables and, you know, hook them both to this lever here. And then we were waiting on an engine. We've been looking for an engine. We wanted it to have high horsepower, like a more horsepower than like 6. Like, we would have been fine with that, but we wanted a little more. So we wanted a little more horsepower. We also wanted a electric start, and we also didn't want it to be a big engine. What we went with is this. We got a Tillotson 212 from Go Power Sports. This isn't a sponsor. I've always seen stuff about this engine, so I figured why not check it out. So we ordered one. The website, it says that this is like 9+ horsepower. My plans are, we're gonna put this on, get everything all done, and check if, well, I tested it with the back rack and it fits good because someone cut the back rack. So I'm gonna repair that. So now it's gonna look all fresh and stuff. So our first plan is to make it all look original. If this engine performs well, I'll probably get one for the Woody and or maybe other projects. We're gonna have to move the box for the key because it hits the back bar, but I already have an idea for that. And other than that, it's a nice smaller engine but with good horsepower. Alright guys, so I got the square tube pieces cut out. As you see, I got that one cut out. I had to cut it at a little angle up here to match that, and this one I'm gonna have to trim a bit because, as you see, it's a little too big, but barely too big. So I'm gonna probably just sand on it a bit and just get that to slide in. Right now I'm gonna work on this piece here. So I'm gonna get a piece of cardboard, make a little template, and then use that for the metal. I took the key thing off to set the engine in to kind of see how it looks, but before I talk about that, I want to show you this. So I took a piece of square tubing, I fixed the parts that were damaged, so it now kind of resembles that, but I did get a smaller pipe, so there is that gap. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is, I got these flat pieces. I'm gonna kind of weld them in kind of at an angle, and like I'm gonna press down and fill the gap. And I got this piece for over here so it matches, so then I'll have those 2 pieces, and then when it's all painted it'll look better. So now oh, and also I have these held on by 4 bolts now. I just got like nut inserts, and I just use those, you see there. So I got 1 here, 1 there, and then 2 in the back right there. So that's now bolted on and on strong, and I figured we could use those 4 spots for when we eventually do a body. So we got those, and so we got 4 bolts holding that on. And then now we're kind of figuring out lining up for the engine. We did find a clutch, and the only issue is we're thinking about going with a torque converter. So I did take one apart, and I have it here. So I do got a torque converter off of one of the other go-karts, and I'm gonna see if I could line it up the best I can here, and then that will determine if we continue with getting one or if we cancel getting it. So I got the engine on, And I'm gonna go with the clutch for now, because as I was trying the torque converter, the plate kept hitting this, and I couldn't really drop it any other way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test the clutch out. I'm pretty sure this probably has the gearing to be able to run a clutch, but I don't know. Right now I'm gonna put the seats on. Probably gonna just zip tie this stuff up right here for now. So for testing and whatnot. So we're so close to actually getting this drivable. So I'm hoping that I get the seats on, figure out a throttle, and do a little testing. I'm gonna do the bottom seat and oil, do the brake and air stuff off camera, because you guys know how that goes. So I'll get to you once I'm hopefully ready to ride. All right, guys, so I have it over there. It's still braking in. The throttle works. The brakes are going to be tested here shortly. I do got my helmet, and once it's done braking in, we'll test it out. And so far, it runs good, starts right up, which is what I like. So now it's time to see the power aspect of it. When turning, don't gas it. All right, guys, there it was. And let me tell you this. This is stock straight out the box with a regular clutch on it, and this thing feels like it just wants to go. So far, this engine, as of right now, is great, and that's with just the regular clutch. We are still going to We are still thinking about doing the torque converter, but as of right now, just, you know, we'll be fine with the way it is, because we do have to lift the engine some and all that stuff. I didn't let Mikey drive it yet because the brakes are a little soft, and as you saw, there were times I forgot to hit the brakes and I slid into like trees and stuff like that. So the next step is to now tear down, repaint, and tweak a little things. Like the brakes are going to be one of them, the throttle is going to be one of them, and the seat's going to be one of them. But other than that, this thing rides great. The handling is iffy. You got to kind of just learn with it as you go. But other than that, this thing is awesome and fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed your cruise down the Lashman Road.